You know what's weird, Gwen? I looked at my to-do list this morning, saw a start personal blog, and just scrolled past it again.
You mean the blog you said you'd launch back in January?
Yeah, seriously. I wanted to do it. It just felt hard.
Actually, it's not hard, just fuzzy. That's because your brain didn't have a clear picture of what it actually looked like. Our brains are wired to prioritize things that are structured, urgent, and familiar. If something is vague or abstract, it doesn't trigger the same response.
So what you're saying is my brain is low-key ghosting me?
Exactly. So today, we're not throwing a bunch of productivity hacks at you.
Nah, we're gonna zoom in on why your brain skips certain things in the first place.
And maybe what would happen if we gave those invisible tasks a shape? Who knows?
Let's dive in.
All right, let me guess, Leo. You labeled your uncompleted task as hard, didn't you?
Of course, it feels hard. But the weird thing is, I know how to do it. I know how to use Figma, I've got the projects. It's not like I'm being asked to do quantum physics.
That's actually a perfect example. Most of the things we call hard aren't hard because we lack skills or intelligence. They're hard because they're vague. There's no clear starting point.
Yes, it's like the task is just fog, emotional fog.
Exactly. There's this concept in neuroscience called cognitive clarity. A study from Stanford in 2019 showed that tasks with unclear outcomes or undefined steps cause the brain to delay activation of goal-oriented areas. In short, if your brain doesn't see what to do next, it stalls.
So basically, our brain is like a GPS. If it doesn't see the route, it doesn't move. No starting point, no go.
That's right. Now compare that with something like filling out a form online. You see fields, steps, a big submit button. Boom. Easy. Structured tasks give the brain dopamine checkpoints because you know what you're doing and what comes next.
And what you'll get. Grocery shopping? Same thing. You know the route, you get a reward. Chips. Or like vegetables, if you're Gwen.
Of course, because it's good for my health.
Excuse me? I eat vegetables and chips. Balance.
Fair. But let's test this. When I had to organize a workshop last year, I put it off for weeks. I kept saying it's hard, but what I meant was, I don't even know what slide goes first.
Right. No mental template, no imagined structure. Hard tasks don't get rejected, they get quietly avoided. I wasn't scared of doing it. I just didn't notice it anymore.
Because your brain is trained to chase clarity. In 2020, Columbia University researchers published a study on task salience. Basically, how the brain ranks tasks. They found that the less specific a task is, the less mental priority it gets. It's not a conscious decision, so your brain just shuffles it to the bottom.
Urgent and clear things go to the top. Vague things, even important ones, get ghosted.
So if we really break it down, tasks that feel easy are often those with a predefined structure, clear rewards, and obvious next steps.
Easy tasks are like IKEA furniture with instructions, checklist, deadline, clear reward. Your brain says, oh, I know what to do, and I know when I'll be done.
Good example, Leo. And tasks that feel hard are usually the ones that lack form. They're creative, personal, or abstract, and your brain doesn't naturally know how to begin, just because your brain couldn't see the first move.
All right, Gwen, so we just exposed the sneaky truth. A lot of hard tasks aren't actually hard. They're just invisible. So now, the big question is, how do we make those invisible tasks visible? How do we trick the brain into stepping forward when the path isn't lit? Like, we shine a flashlight on the fog?
Actually, yeah. Metaphorically speaking, that's not far off. One of the most powerful flashlights you can use is a mindset shift. And that shift is to think of the hard thing not as a commitment, not as a big leap, but as an experiment.
Wait, like a science experiment?
Kind of. Here's the thing. Thinking of a task as an experiment isn't just a mental trick to make yourself feel better. It's actually a way to reshape the entire experience of doing.
All right, hit me. What makes the experiment mindset so different?
Three things. Firstly, when you say it's an experiment, you're not trying to win or lose. You're just giving it a shot to see what happens. You're not saying this has to work. You're saying, I'm going to see what happens. That instantly reduces pressure.
So instead of, I must launch the perfect podcast, it becomes, let's record one episode and see how it feels.
For sure. And here's the second thing. An experiment has clear boundaries. It has a size, a shape, a beginning, and an end.
Let me take an example.
Go ahead, Leo.
Like instead of saying, I need to get healthy, I say, I'm going to walk after dinner for 15 minutes, for 3 nights, and see how I feel.
Good point.
What is the third piece?
When you experiment, your brain shifts from a judging and avoiding state to a curious and observing state.
Yo, that's big. I know there's science behind it too. A study in motivation and emotion found that when people approached a new task with curiosity, their stress went down and they actually performed better, even when the task was new or difficult.
So curiosity is like a psychological hack. When I think of something as a test, like, let's see what happens, I don't panic. I just do it.
That's the magic. You turn a vague idea into something clear and real. Gwen, there's one part that really blew my mind. Don't you even need motivation to start?
No, I don't. Motivation is optional. You just need a reason, even a small one, to begin the experiment.
I love that, because sometimes I wait for this big lightning bolt of inspiration, and it never comes. But if I just say, let's try this for 2 days and see what happens, suddenly the mountain shrinks.
Yeah, you remove the pressure to succeed. And when the pressure's gone, action becomes lighter.
Yep, because so many times I've sat in front of something I wanted to do, like editing a video or planning a project, and I didn't do it. Not because I didn't care, but because it had no door. It felt like mist.
And the experiment becomes the doorway.
Let's give listeners some examples. Show them how this plays out in real life.
All right, let's say you've been wanting to write, but it just feels too big. So you tell yourself, I'm going to write for 15 minutes and just see what thoughts are in my head today. That's it. That's an experiment.
No pressure for a novel. No, I have to be productive. Just, let's peek inside my brain today.
Or maybe you want to reconnect with people. Instead of making a dramatic social comeback, just say, I'll call one old friend this week and observe how I feel after.
Totally. Otherwise, your someday coffee catch-up will turn into no day at all.
Such an insightful thought, Leo. Or try waking up earlier. Just, I'll try waking up 30 minutes earlier for 2 days. Then I'll write down how I felt.
I actually did that during finals week. I hated mornings. But by just saying 2 days, I tricked myself into starting and it helped. I didn't become a morning person, but I understood myself more.
That's the key. You're not trying to be perfect. You're just collecting clues. Now that we know why the experiment mindset works, let's talk about how to actually do it. Like, what makes a good experiment?
Ah, yes, Dr. Gwen. Tell us. What chemicals do I need to add to my life lab today, aside from setting boundaries?
Well, it's true that the first thing a good experiment needs is a clear boundary. And the second ingredient is zero expectation.
That one's hard. Be honest. Who's ever said, I'll just try this for fun, while secretly hoping it'll change your whole life?
Yep, we see some of you nodding. That secret hope is what adds pressure. But a real experiment isn't about results. You're not measuring if it worked. You're just observing, how did I react? What was the experience like?
So you're not judging the results, just learning about your own reaction?
Yes. Instead of pushing yourself to wake up early just to become a morning person. Ask, how does my body feel when I wake up early?
And don't forget to record it or share it. When you write down what you do, you will find that what you do actually happens. It isn't just a thought.
Absolutely. It's no longer just a maybe, it's something that actually happened.
So the real trick here is turning thoughts into events.
Yes, that's the brain trick. You give your actions shape, so your brain can respond to something real, not something vague.
Okay, so experimenting has rules, but also perks? Our listeners are probably waiting to hear this too.
We do. One of the nicest side effects of the experiment mindset is You stop pressuring yourself to know exactly what you're doing from the start.
That's great, because most of the time, I'm just guessing and hoping for the best.
When you see things as experiments, you allow yourself to try stuff without needing a guarantee. You do more things that are uncertain and harder, but you do them with ease.
Like trying a salsa class even if dancing isn't really your thing.
Perfect example. You don't need to succeed. You just need to show up and observe.
That part really lands. Because when you focus on watching yourself in action, you build this whole new kind of confidence.
Yes. It's not the loud kind of confidence where you walk around thinking you're amazing. It's quieter, deeper. You become someone who's willing to try, who's genuinely curious about how you react, and who stays present through it all.
It's not about being great at something or doing something that is super hard to achieve. It's about learning who you are when you show up and do it.
Exactly. That shift from proving to exploring changes the way you experience everything.
Okay, Gwen, before we start with the questions, let's go over some cool words from today's episode.
Sounds good. Learners, listen closely and repeat if you can. Let's begin. First word, task. A task is something you need to do. It can be small, like washing the dishes, or big, like finishing a project. For example, my first task today is to write a short email. It's just another word for job or activity.
Excellent example, Gwen. Next up, give it a shot. That means to try something, even if you're not sure it'll work. For example, I don't know how to paint, but I'll give it a shot. Just try it. Who knows? You might be great at it.
Our third phrase is set a small goal. It means choosing something simple and clear to do. Not a big dream, just one little step. Example, I set a small goal to read 5 pages a day. Small goals make big things feel easier.
Totally. I once set a goal to drink more water. Just 1 cup in the morning. Look at me now. Hydrated and happy. Okay, next. Call an old friend. This means to phone someone you haven't spoken to in a while. Example, I called an old friend last weekend and we talked for hours. Sometimes one call makes you smile for days.
And the last one is, write down your thoughts. This means putting what's in your mind onto paper. It helps you understand what you're really feeling. Example, before bed, I write down my thoughts so I can sleep better. Writing is a way to turn ideas into something clear.
Perfect example to wrap up our vocabulary review. Okay, now that we've got some cool words in our pocket,
And some clear ideas in our brain.
let's move on to the fun part.
Discussion time. We've got 3 questions for you to think about.
And of course, we'll share our answers too. Ready? Let's go. First question coming in hot. What's one task you often skip?
Cleaning my inbox. I open it, see 200 emails, and suddenly need a snack.
Updating my passwords? I know it's important, but I keep putting it off. No excuse, really.
Let's move to the second question. Have you ever given something a shot and it turned out better than expected?
I gave yoga a shot once. Thought I'd fall asleep, but I actually loved it.
I tried cooking without a recipe. It wasn't perfect, but it didn't burn. So, success.
And now, the final question. Would you like to set a small goal this week? What would it be?
Yep, my goal is to drink water before coffee. Let's see if I survive.
I'll try writing down my thoughts every night. Just 1 sentence. That's enough to start. All right, it's your turn now.
What about you?
Leave us a comment below and tell us, what small goal would you like to try this week?
It can be something simple. 1 step is all it takes.
We read every comment and we might even try your idea ourselves. All right, here's what we covered today. If you want to trick your brain to do hard things without freaking out, try it like an experiment.
Right? No pressure to win, no need to be perfect. Just clear boundaries, small steps, and honest curiosity. You don't have to feel ready. You just have to be open. Then, you will unlock a version of yourself that's braver, calmer, and more present.
So whether it's writing that blog, calling a friend, or waking up early, don't make it a big deal. This will make your brain think that the difficult thing will turn into something completely doable.
Thanks for tuning in. And remember, clarity isn't something you wait for. It's something you create, one small, curious step at a time.
See you next time.
welcome back to Podcast and Chill. I'm Gwen, your friendly neighborhood brainiac.
And I'm Leo, podcast host by trade, comedian by choice.
So picture this. There's 1 second left on the clock, the whole place is dead quiet, and this basketball player steps up for a free throw. That could win the whole championship.
You're thinking, no sweat, he's gonna nail it, right?
Nope. He misses. The ball hits the rim.
You can hear a pin drop.
And you're like, wait, how did that happen?
Yeah, I mean, he's a pro, that shot should be automatic, but there's always something going on.
Right. This is what psychologists call a choke.
Wait a sec, you mean it's not just because he's bummed out after breaking up with his girlfriend?
Ha! Nope. It's actually a real psychological thing.
What's it?
It's when someone suddenly performs worse under pressure.
Even when they've nailed it a million times?
Even when they've nailed it a million times.
Wow. I didn't know there was a name for that.
You've probably been there, like during public speaking, performing music, or if you're me, trying to order food while the waiter's staring at you.
Relatable. All right, I'm in. Let's talk about this whole choking thing.
Yep, let's break down why it happens and what we can do to deal with it.
So, Gwen, why does this happen?
Psychologists say it comes down to two main theories.
Hit me. What are they?
The first one is the distraction theory.
Tell me more.
The idea is, when the pressure's on, we start getting all anxious and full of doubt.
So, what exactly is the distraction?
It's your own anxiety.
Like that Ducci song.
Haha, you're totally right. Her song nails it in this case.
So what happens when anxiety kicks in?
Your brain fills up with thoughts like, what if I mess up? Or everyone's watching. And that eats up your mental space.
So you've got no brain power left to actually do the thing.
Exactly. One study showed that just being watched can cut your working memory by 10%.
That explains why anytime someone says, hey, we're all watching, I immediately mess it up.
Same with phrases like, don't screw this up.
It's like dropping a mini panic bomb in your head. But smart people don't choke, right?
Funny enough, they do. One study found top math students actually did worse on complex problems when they were under pressure.
Doesn't need to be a complex math problem for me to do poorly.
Don't worry, I'll help you out. But let's talk about the second theory, which is explicit monitoring.
Sounds intense. What are we monitoring?
Our own body movements.
I'm lost.
It happens with stuff we've already mastered.
What kinds of stuff are we talking about?
Like a golfer who's been putting for years, but under pressure, they start overthinking every move.
Like what exactly?
Like, where's my elbow? Is my wrist lined up right?
Is that a real thing, though?
Of course, there's a study on this. Researchers saw golf pros perform 30% worse when they were told to focus on their arm technique instead of just aiming for the hole.
So overthinking literally makes you worse.
Yep. It's called paralysis by analysis. Overthinking causes tension, like your heart beats faster, your muscles get stiff, and, yep, you choke.
I've had that distraction a few times. Don't think I've felt this second one, though.
Depends on the task. Some things trigger one more than the other.
Like what kind of tasks?
Cognitive stuff like math or speaking usually gets hit by distraction. Physical stuff like sports or music gets nailed by overmonitoring.
And some unlucky folks get both?
Sadly, yes. Some people are just more sensitive to pressure and get caught in both traps.
So, it's the curse of being both super smart and super athletic?
Basically. Tough life, huh?
But seriously, why does this even happen to us?
Oh, there are a few reasons. First, it's your skill level.
So like, the worse I am at something, the more likely I am to choke?
Actually, it's kind of the opposite. Experts tend to choke more than beginners.
Wait, what? That makes zero sense.
I know it sounds weird, but hear me out.
All right, break it down for me.
So, beginners are still figuring things out. They're consciously thinking through every step. There's nothing automatic to mess up yet.
Got it. And experts?
Experts have done the thing so many times. It's like their second nature. Totally automatic.
So they're basically on autopilot?
Yep, but when the pressure kicks in, that autopilot gets shut off. They start overthinking stuff that should just flow.
So pressure makes them mess up stuff they usually crush?
Bingo!
Okay, what about where you are? Does it matter who's watching?
Oh yeah, big time. Just being watched ups the pressure. But if it's someone important, like a coach, your boss, or your mom, it's even worse.
Man, when I was a kid, I used to fall apart every time my mom showed up to my soccer games.
Right? And the stakes matter big time too. The bigger the event, the higher the pressure. One study found that pressure jumps by like 23% in those crucial moments.
Ugh, I'm having flashbacks to all my terrible job interviews. I'm blaming it all on this choking thing.
Go for it. But also, your personality plays a role too.
Let me guess. Anxious people choke more?
Correct. If you're a worrier or a perfectionist, you're more likely to crumble under pressure.
And if you're already stressed or running on fumes?
That just makes it worse.
Dang. Had I known that, I wouldn't have stayed up all night gaming before my presentation.
Yeah, losing sleep ups your chances of choking by like 40%. So yeah, resting matters.
So, just clocking in 8 hours of sleep every night can help me stay away from choking?
I wish it were that easy. Sleep definitely helps, but it's just one part of the puzzle.
If so, what else can we do?
One of the best things? Practice under pressure.
Ugh, can't I just avoid pressure altogether?
Yeah, good luck with that. We live in a society where pressure is more common than a Taylor Swift song on the radio.
Okay, fine. How do you even practice pressure?
You basically try to recreate the stress, like playing loud music, getting people to watch, or making small bets during practice.
And that actually works?
For some, yeah. A study in the Scientific Journal of Sport and Performance on dart players showed those who practiced under pressure performed 15%, more than those who didn't.
Not bad. So we're stress-proofing the brain?
Pretty much. There's also a technique called stress inoculation.
Sounds intense. What is that?
It's like a mental vaccine. You expose yourself to small doses of stress, so your brain builds immunity to bigger stuff later. Olympic athletes do it all the time.
So how do I give myself this vaccine?
There are 3 steps. First, you learn how pressure affects you. Then, you build coping skills. Last, you practice using those skills in real situations.
That sounds like a full-time job.
Olympic coaches don't think so. Some even add consequences, like if you mess up, you drop and do 10 push-ups.
Brutal. Is there anything less intense I can try?
Maybe you can try a pre-performance routine.
A routine?
Yep, it's something you do before a task to get into the zone. It helps calm your nerves and brings some structure.
How does that even work?
It pulls your focus away from the nerves and onto something familiar, which is your routine.
Like Nadal with all his little ticks before serving?
That's what I'm talking about. It tells your brain, hey, we've done this before.
Does it actually help?
Of course it does. One study on soccer players showed it can lower anxiety by 17%.
Do I need a coach to build one?
Nah, you can make your own. It could be some deep breaths, bouncing in place, clapping, or even a little dance. Whatever gets you focused.
How long should it be?
Keep it short, just 3 to 5 movements, and ideally under 30 seconds. And use it every time, not just when you're nervous.
Got it. And what about focus? I know we shouldn't overthink, but where should our attention go?
That's the trick. Don't overthink. Focus on the outcome, not the process.
Easier said than done?
It's not too bad when you think about it. For example, a golfer can focus on the hole instead of obsessing over their grip.
Still sounds tough. Any hacks for that?
You could try using anchor words.
What are those?
Just quick, powerful words or phrases that ground you, like focus, breathe, or hit it. They bring you back when you start spiraling.
Oh, like mental shortcuts. I like that.
I know, right? They help switch your brain from panic mode to performance mode.
Any other secret weapons?
Relaxation and mindset.
Yeah. Give me that calm magic.
Deep breathing works. Try the 4-7-8 method. Breathe in for 4, hold for 7, exhale for 8.
Never heard of that. Sounds chill.
Olympic athletes use it a lot. There's also progressive muscle relaxation. You tense and release each muscle group one at a time.
That one's easy. I can totally do that.
Well, there's one more easy thing you can try. Self-talk.
Yeah. Like swapping out "don't screw this up" with "you've got this," right?
Yep. Visualize the win before you start. That's what Michael Phelps does before every race.
What does he picture?
The entire race. Every detail. Stroke by stroke.
So, Gwen, we've talked a lot about choking in sports and the Olympics, but how do we actually use this stuff in real life?
Oh, it totally applies. Let's start with the Olympics of academic life, exams.
Ugh, I used to freeze the second I saw a math test.
Same, but you can actually train for that. Just recreate the pressure when you study.
You mean like hire someone to stare at me while I do math at home?
Haha, no need to go that far. Just set a timer, ditch the notes, and go distraction-free while you practice. That's enough.
Wait, you really did that back in school?
I did, and so did a bunch of people in this study I read. Turns out students who timed themselves while studying boosted their scores by 12%.
That's actually impressive. And what about test day? Any hacks to stay calm?
Well, do a mini pre-test routine. Stretch a little, take deep breaths, get in the zone. Even something small can help you stay chill.
Got it. But what if it's talking that freaks me out? Like public speaking?
Same deal. Practice under pressure. Try rehearsing in front of friends, recording yourself, or even just talking to the mirror helps.
Right. I heard TED speakers go over their talks 100 times.
More like 200, actually. And before they go on stage, they usually have a little ritual, deep breath, quick note check, a little pep talk to themselves.
What about job interviews or negotiating stuff?
Mock interviews. Get a friend to grill you with tough questions.
And I can use that personal routine before the real thing, right?
Exactly. You're catching on fast, Leo.
What can I say? I'm a quick learner.
Just don't forget to focus on the outcome, not the fear. Think about what you want to say, not what could go wrong.
Roger. Keep my eyes on the goal, not the nerves. All right, Gwen, before we bounce, how about we break down some useful words from today's episode?
Love that idea. Let's start with the word choke.
Yeah, not the food kind, guys. In this case, to choke means to suddenly perform badly under pressure, even if you're usually good at something.
Like missing an easy goal because you're overthinking it. For example, she practiced her song perfectly but choked during the live audition.
Oof, that one hurts. Next up, paralysis by analysis.
That's when you overthink every little move and it totally freezes you up. For example, he missed the shot because of paralysis by analysis. He kept adjusting his grip.
Been there. Okay, how about pre-performance routine?
That's a small set of actions you repeat before a task to calm your nerves. For example, her pre-performance routine includes deep breathing and stretching.
Fourth word, anchor word. I like this one. It sounds powerful.
It is. An anchor word is a short word or phrase you say to yourself to stay focused. For example, before his speech, he whispered confidence to keep himself grounded.
All right, last one, stress inoculation.
Fancy term, but it's cool. It means practicing small amounts of pressure now so you can handle the big stuff later. For example, athletes use stress inoculation to stay calm during big games. All right, folks, now it's your turn. But before you comment, Leo and I will go first.
Yeah. Question number 1. When was a time you felt like you choked under pressure?
I'll go first. Back in college, I froze completely during a big presentation. Even forgot my own name for like 2 seconds. Not fun.
Oh, I feel you. Mine was during a live podcast launch. I said, so many times I sounded like a broken record.
All right. Question number 2. Which tip from today are you going to try next time you're nervous? Anchor words, pre-performance routines, or stress practice?
I'm going with the anchor word. I'm going to whisper focus like a superhero before interviews.
I'm sticking with my pre-performance routine. Deep breath, stretch, and a tiny fist bump to myself. Works every time.
Now it's your turn. Comment below with your answers. We love hearing your stories. Guys, it's time to wrap it up.
But before we go, let's do a quick recap on how to avoid choking.
Just 3 things, guys. Practice under pressure, have a solid pre-game routine, and keep your eyes on the goal, not the fear.
Super simple, right? Practice with pressure, stay focused, and have a purpose. That's how you get closer to your optimal self.
And hey, if we still choke,
Then it's not the end of the world. It's just feedback. Choking just means you've got something to learn, not that you're doomed.
that's such a good way to look at it. Wish I knew that in high school.
Same. So for everyone listening, pick one of these tips and give it a shot next time you're feeling the heat.
And let us know in the comments. What's the first one you're going to try?
I'm Gwen.
And I'm Leo.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
Catch you next time on Podcast and Chill.